Hello. Hello, everyone. It's Thursday evening. That's why I'm live. Barb here from barbstamps.com, coming to you live from Sheridan, Wyoming. And if I'm live on a Thursday, it's got to be 4 p.m. Pacific, 5 Mountain, 6 Central, and 7 Eastern. So welcome to all of you that are already here. Welcome to those of you that are going to show up, and welcome to those of you that will be watching the replay. I appreciate every single one of you guys. I do see a bunch of you in the comments, and it sounds like there is some hot weather here in the States. We are not having hot weather today. Well, I mean, it's nice, but it's not like hot. Like some of you are talking and it sounds hot. We are not having that. We are also supposed to be getting some rain this weekend, so that'll be kind of nice, as long as it doesn't come with lightning. Let's see. It sounds like it's hot in Kansas where Dolly is, 90 degrees. Wendy is also having some hot weather in the Twin Cities. Barbara, great name, by the way, Barbara. In Montana, it's cool but sunny. That's kind of how we are too. A really nice fall day, even though I'm in the basement. I mean, I can see out I have a little tiny window that I can see outside, so it's not terrible. So welcome everyone. Let me see if there's anything. I really don't have anything exciting to report. It's just been very, very even around here, which is good. My husband started back on his shifts of work today. So he's at work right now. So he works like 4 on 3 off, and then every couple months it switches, and then it switches to nights. And oh my gosh, I don't know how in the world I've been able to keep track of it over the last 20 some years, but it is what it is, right? We all got to do what we got to do. So he'll be coming home in about maybe an hour or so, and then we'll have some dinner, and then it's football time. I am kind of a big football fan. I love watching football, and I don't even care who's playing. I mean, I really like the Dallas Cowboys. I know they're these days, but I've always really liked them. And a lot of you know the story of me meeting a Dallas Cowboy when I was in the 2nd grade. And so my little heart went pitter patter. So I've always been a Dallas Cowboys fan, but I have become a big Buffalo Bills fan also, since Josh Allen is from the University of Wyoming. Not that he's from there, but he played college football there. So we are also big Bills fans. So tonight it's the 49ers and I believe the Rams, and I don't really care. I mean, I don't care who wins. I'm always up for a good game of football, but I don't care who wins. So I'm sure some of you out there probably have an opinion on who wins. And yeah. Anything exciting? No, I haven't seen my son. He stopped by last Friday after work real quick. I had some stuff for him to pick up, but I haven't seen him since. My daughter went on a business trip over the weekend for a few days to a little conference in Minneapolis, where you are, Wendy. And she stayed on Viking Lakes property. There is a connection center that her company has there. And so they have trainings, I guess, there every so often. And so she was out there. She enjoyed herself immensely, had a great time. So that was good. And she's back home now. So yeah, like I said, it's pretty even around here. So I mean, that's good. As some of you are aware, I did hit my $1 million in sales a couple weeks ago. Disclaimer, less than 0.001% of demonstrators worldwide do that. But yeah. And I have been getting some cards from some of you guys, and you guys are so sweet. Thank you so much for thinking of me and sending me cards. And I also got a really cool gift in the mail today from one of my BFFs, Lori. So if Lori's watching, which I'm sure she's not, thank you, Lori. And then I have a really nice gift from one of my team members that I want to share with you. So yeah, it's been kind of fun, just kind of randomly getting, congratulations cards and things like that. So yeah, this has been really fun. My flowers finally died that Stampin' Up sent me. I did have to throw them away. They were good flowers for, gosh, like 10 days. So, I mean, that's kind of a long time when you get fresh flowers. So I finally had to throw them out last night. Sad face. But it is what it is, right? They're not meant to last forever. So that's how that goes. I did take some pictures and I totally forgot to post them on my Facebook. I should do that. I'll try to remember to put them on my business page. Maybe tonight while we're watching the game, if I remember, I will do that. Let's see. Barbara says I'm a football fan also. She's a Jets fan, and they play the Cowboys on Sunday. Oh, you're probably going to beat us, Barbara. And she also likes the Bills, so that's pretty cool. And Betty is in the hospital. Oh my gosh, Betty. Hopefully things are good now that you're in the hospital, and hopefully you can go home soon. Yeah, good. Hopefully you can go home soon. What else? Gosh, like I said, there really isn't anything going on around here. It's kind of boring. I shouldn't say that. Knock on something a lot, because the minute you say that, then bad stuff happens. So it's just even. Like I said, it's just even. Things are even. We are going to be having leftovers for dinner tonight. We in Sheridan, Wyoming, got a restaurant called Teriyaki Madness at the beginning of September. I'm sure a lot of you have a Teriyaki Madness where you are, and this is our first one. Of course, it's like now we have maybe 10 restaurants in this town. And when I say restaurants, I'm talking about McDonald's, Wendy's, Taco Bell, Taco John's, Dairy Queen. We have a few pizza joints. We have a couple of kind of locally owned restaurants downtown. And we have a Perkins. Yeah, and now we have a Teriyaki Madness. So my husband and I have been wanting to try it, but I was kind of wanting to wait until it had been going for a little while, because, when a restaurant first opens, there's always snags and there's always delays and everything. So I thought, let's give them some time. So we went there on Tuesday. And we went in there. We got there about 10 minutes to 6. We ordered our food to go, and we walked out of there at about 6:45. So, not the speediest service I've ever had, but it was really good. So we'll probably go back, but I think what I might do next time is I think I might order online and then go pick it up, because I would rather wait at home. I'd rather sit in my house and wait at home than stand in a restaurant and wait for my food. So, and I understand, like I said, I understand when it's a new restaurant. So I'm not mad about it. I just will do something different the next time I go. So basically a Teriyaki Madness is you can order from a few things. Like they have orange chicken, they have teriyaki chicken, they have spicy chicken, they have salmon, and they have steak and spicy steak. I think those are the meats that you can have. And then they have white rice, brown rice, fried rice, and noodles as like your side. And then they also have like some stir-fried vegetables. And so you can order them in a bowl where they put, the vegetables, the rice, and your meat in a bowl, or you can order them like a side. So I ordered a side of orange chicken and a side of fried rice. My husband got a side of the steak, teriyaki, and a side of the noodles. And so they come in little 8-ounce cups, which I thought would be, a good amount for a meal, but actually we both only ate about half of it. So we're having it again tonight. So after I get off this live, I will warm it up and we will have that for dinner, and then we will watch football. So I think Barbara said the Jets are 0-4. Yeah, the Cowboys at least have a win and a tie. Yeah, not very good. But we'll see, Barbara. I'll be rooting for the Cowboys and you'll be rooting for the Jets, and we'll talk about it next Thursday. All right, guys, I think I'm going to flip the camera because, like I said, I don't really have that much to talk about. So let's go ahead and do that. And then I will clip my hair back and put my glasses on so that I can see what's going on. And we can get the show started here. Sorry about the view of my hand. There we go. I'm going to make sure that my thing is level. I don't like to have it crooked. That bothers me a lot. Okay, that looks good. Okay. Yeah, Bonnie says it sounds like a Panda Express. It is, except, Bonnie, the weird thing is, like, when you go into a Panda Express, they have all the food out there, and then you tell them what that you want, and they just put it in the bowl and they hand it to you. I feel like at this place, they were cooking stuff to order, which I thought was kind of strange. Not that I'm unhappy that my food would have been fresh, but it took a really long time. So anyways, it is what it is. Okay. So as you can probably see, I have my 12 weeks of holiday ideas little flyer sitting here, and those are starting tomorrow. I was going to start them on Wednesday, but I think I'm going to go with Fridays instead. Why? I don't know. That's my plan. So I'll be putting them out on Fridays for the next 12 weeks. They'll be going out as an email. No, if you're already a subscriber to my newsletter list, then you're already on one of my lists. My customer list is what it's called. And then you will get these also. So you don't have to subscribe again, but if you aren't subscribed to my newsletter, then the link is in the description of this video, somewhere down there, and you can subscribe and then you will get it. Okay, perfect. So that's coming up tomorrow. I think we talked about this last week, that Stampin' Up! Is having a really amazing join special right now. So if you are not a demonstrator but would like to be, you can join for $35. That is a crazy, crazy deal. And you get $125 worth of product joining that way, or you can pay $99 and get $189. Personally, I feel like this is the better deal, and I'm going to tell you why. Once you become a demonstrator, we have a quarterly minimum of $300 that we have to buy/sell every quarter. You do get your discount on top of that, so it would be like $240 every 3 months. So once you start as a demonstrator, then you have your first quarter is free, and then the next quarter you have to meet your minimums. So if you do the $35 deal, you get $125 worth of product. Then you can turn right around and you can place an order as a demonstrator and get your 20% off of that order, plus earn Stampin' Rewards. You don't earn Stampin' Rewards and you don't get a discount on the starter kits here. So my recommendation, unless you're wanting to get something like the Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine because it is more than $125, I think it's $140, you could get the Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine in this. But if you're not getting that, I just recommend going the cheaper route and then turning around and then placing an order. So, and right now we just our pre-order for the November online exclusive started yesterday, and you can add those items to your starter kit. $125 worth of them. Or you can put in, anything that we have in the online store, you can add to your kit. So keep that in mind, except Paper Pumpkin prepaid subscriptions. Those cannot be added to a starter kit, but everything else can. So I would love to have you join me. I have a fantastic team of demonstrators. We are all over the country. Some of you are on here right now. We do a team meeting every month. We do a little bit of show and tell. We talk a little bit of business, and then we just kind of chit chat about some things. We have a weekly training call. Dina Kelly and I get together and do a weekly training call. And when I say training, it's not necessarily just for people that want to build a business. It's also to, like, maybe you are trying to share your photos online. You don't want them to be like taken and used without your permission. You want to put your watermark on them. We teach you how to do that. Just all kinds of different things that we go over. So it's not just business only. And I welcome all kinds of demonstrators onto my team, whether you want to be a discount shopper, meaning you only purchase for yourself, or whether you want to maybe have one class a month, I can certainly help you do that. Or if you just want to build a business, I can also help you do that. So let me know if you're interested, if you have any questions. If not, there should be a link in the description of this video and you can just sign up. Our online class for the month of October is the Modern Christmas. Kelly, Dina, and I do a class each month. Stamp Happy Academy subscribers get the class PDF for free. If you do want a kit of supplies to make the 6 cards, along with some DSP, some sequins, and some ribbon, then you can purchase the kit with the link in the description of this video. Also, just got notified, Pat is on my team. She's so cute. She said that I'm amazing, and she is a hobby demonstrator on my team. So thank you, Pat. Which reminds me, I have to show you guys something that Pat sent me. So let me put that over here so I don't forget. So we just got notified of a flash sale coming up next week. It's Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. Our kits collections are on sale. Every one of the kits is on sale. They will be anywhere from 10 to 30% off. So I don't know what discount is going to be on what kits. We'll have to wait until Monday to find that out. But there is a kit sale. Paper Pumpkin kits, scrapbooking workshop kits, and the starter kit do not count for this promotion, but all of our other kits do. And we have a lot of them. We just released 3 yesterday. So I would imagine those will probably be 10% off since they're brand new. But yeah, you can check them all out at shoppingwithbarb.com. And then come back on Monday and get yourself some kits. Kits are great. They're just a cute little box full of goodies that you can quickly put together and have a little stash of cards. And if you don't want to have supplies in your house, you just want to craft and then be done with it, these are perfect. All right, we do have the Advent calendar. I got mine a few days ago. I have not opened it yet. I am not a person that can wait, so I will be opening every single one of these doors when I start opening it. I've just been kind of busy this week, and so maybe tomorrow's the day. We'll see. But it does come with this double stamp set here, so you get two stamp sets in it. So this is your 13th gift. So it's actually a 13 gift calendar, which is really fun. So yeah, I'm pretty excited about that. Okay. Rewards when you order in my online store. A lot of you guys are just getting your calendars today. Yay. If you order $20 or more, you get Stampin' Rewards and you get my monthly PDF. This month it's Modern Christmas, not to be confused with our online class. These cards are not in the online class, okay? Then if you order $35, you also get this PDF, Stampin' Rewards, plus an invitation to the Stamp Happy Party. This will be happening on November 19th. All orders in October will count if they're over $35, and the party will be November 19th. Normally, it's the second Wednesday of every month, but in November, Dina, Kelly, and I are going to be out of town at the backstage event that Stampin' Up! Is hosting in Las Vegas, so we won't be able to do it on the second Wednesday, so it'll be the third Wednesday in November. But I just sent out the email invitation with the link for our October party. So everyone who ordered from me in September, I sent the link out today. That party is happening next Wednesday, October 8th. Then if you order $50 or more, you get all of that plus another tutorial for Modern Christmas. And again, these cards will not be in my online class. These are just for inspiration only. You will get the directions, videos, and dimensions for these in this class. And in my other PDF, it's dimensions and directions. So that's pretty exciting. I talk about this a lot, but I always have people that ask me about it. I do have the free labels for your Stampin' Blends markers on my blog at barbstamps.com/shop. You can download the file. It's free. And then you can stick them on the ends of your blog, of your markers. Stamp Happy Academy, I just mentioned we're having our Stamp Happy party next month, or next week, on the 8th of October. Anybody who's a Stamp Happy Academy member has access to this. The video link has been loaded onto the Stamp Happy Academy website, and the PDF will be loaded there next week. I will be live with our first live of October on Saturday morning at 8 Pacific, 9 Mountain, 10 Central, 11 Eastern. So if you're a Stamp Happy Academy member, check out the live tab. I do have all of our times listed. And finally, I always have adhesive kits for sale if anyone is interested. Okay, now I get to some fun here. I have been getting some great mail. I have to start out with this. This is a little M&M machine that I got from my friend Lori today. Is this not the cutest little thing? And she had special M&Ms put in it for me. Let me pull these out. So we have the letter B on some of them for Barb. We have the You Did It. We have a crown. And we have Dream Big, and these are the 3 colors of M&Ms that I have in this little thing. Isn't this just so cute? And you literally just turn the little handle, and then M&Ms fall into the little dispenser area here. So, oh my gosh, Lori is the sweetest. So thank you, Lori. Now, Pat is on here. Pat sent me a gorgeous notebook that she made along with a gift card. Look at this beautiful, beautiful notebook that Pat sent me. I have recently just gotten these dies. I never had them before, so I just got those, and it is just a fantastic notebook, and I can hardly wait to use this, Pat. She also sent me a Starbucks card. Oh my gosh. You guys know I love my Starbucks. I don't like coffee, but I love chai tea frappuccinos. And Starbucks makes a really, really good one. So, Pat, thank you so much. I appreciate that more than you know that you think of me and sent me a goodie. I got another team member, a card from my team member, Barbara. She is what we call the Fun Fold Queen in our group. And she makes the most amazing Fun Fold cards. Look at that. And then she always gives you a coordinating envelope, coordinating cardstock. So thank you so much, Barbara. And I see a lot of you guys are talking about your advent calendar. It's pretty awesome. I'm pretty excited. This is from Mary. So Mary sent me a fun little shaker card to celebrate my million, and I appreciate that very much, Mary. Thank you so much. Let's see. The next one is a card from Donna. Donna is one of my customers, and she's in South Dakota. So thank you so much, Donna. I love this card. I love that plaid background, and then I remember these dies. They were so fun. So I appreciate that so much. She was thanking me for something I had sent to her, plus then congratulating me for my million. This is from Chad, my DDM, congratulating me on earning the trip to Alaska. So thanks a lot, Chad. Appreciate that. Another disclaimer, less than 0.001% of demonstrators earn the trip. We have to say that or we get in trouble. Not by Stampin' Up, but by the FCC. So there you go. Then I got a card from Tony Shaw. Tony, look what she made for me. How awesome is that? Black and gold. Yes. She is so sweet. Thank you so much, Tony. I appreciate that so much. Check out the paper. Goes with the Modern Christmas. So you don't have to use it just for Christmas. All right. This is from Darla. This is one of my customers, and she sent me one of these cool, I can't remember how you open this. Oh yeah, like this. So it's like this. And then it's like this. Isn't that awesome? She says she can't wait to see my stamp design. Same, Darla, same. All right, this is from another one of my team members, Kay. She made me an extra large card. Love it so much. I love how she did the corner pieces here with the textured notes dies. Love that. Yes, Tony, thank you so much. I appreciate it. Thanks to Kay. This is from Debbie. Let me get it out here. I'm trying to make sure I don't show anybody's addresses. This is from Debbie. This is also a thank you card, or not a thank you card, a congratulations card for my million. So Debbie, thank you so much. I appreciate that. Here we have a card from, oh, this is from, hold on. This is from Joanne. Look at that beautiful card made with the pear bundle. And this is another card. She wanted to thank me for the embellishments that I sent to her, and she thoroughly enjoys Stamp Happy Academy. So Joanne, thank you. I appreciate that as well. This is from Nancy. This is a folder I'm using today. Yay, how amazing is that? Look at that beautiful card. This was to thank her for, the bingo. We did bingo a couple months ago, and we used the pear set, and so she's thanking me for doing the bingo. Not a problem. What is this? Oh, this is a swap card. Well, I'll show it to you. It's really pretty. Look at that. I'm actually using this stuff today because I love it so much. I can't ever not use this, you guys. It's such amazing paper and stuff. Look how fun that is. So that's a swap card that I got. Let's see. This is from a gal who buys product shares from me. So she sent me this card with her thanking me for those. And then this is from Judy. She also buys product shares, and so she sent me this fun. This is one of the Stampin' Up! Kits, and I don't know how this works. Do you open it? I didn't want to ruin it, so I didn't open it. But there's like a little something in there. So thank you so much, Judy. I appreciate that. Okay, that is all the goodies. So thank you, everyone, so much. I appreciate you. All right, so let's bring this in because we're going to do a Christmas card first of all, and we're going to use some two-tone cardstock because we don't have any other 12 by 12 cardstock besides two-tone, and so I needed a 12 by 12 to make my project. So we're using some two-tone cardstock. This is Real Red, and as you can see, I have die cut something out of it already. Okay, so this is Real Red. So as you can see, we have the light side and the dark side. So I did score this. I scored it at 4 inches. And then if we scooch our arm out, we scored it at 7.5 inches. And then we scored it at 8. And then we scored it at 11.5. Okay. So 4, 7.5, 8, and 11.5. And then you want to put, so then you would have it like this. This is where I die cut a window out of it. We're going to make something, I think it's called a box card, if I remember right. And so I did die cut my window. So this is the panel that has most of the score lines on it. You can see we've got a 1/2 inch score line here and a little double lines here to make a 1/2 inch. So what we're going to do is we're going to fold this on those score lines. And we're just going to burnish that with our bone folder. And so when I'm folding this, I'm just trying to make sure that we don't go over the edges there. And we'll fold it on that little 1/2 inch line there. And then finally we can fold this back. And again, make sure at the top and bottom. I'm sure a lot of you have made these cards before because they are pretty fun and they are pretty simple. So this is going to be our little box card here. So we're going to put that aside for the moment while we work on the pieces and parts. So this is the front of the box card, and this is, I can't remember the dimensions. It is 3 3/4 by 5 1/4. And then we have one panel that goes here, and this is 3 3/4 again by 5 1/4. Oh, these are the same. Gosh, I'm measuring it and I'm like, it's exactly the same, Barb. What are you doing? And then we have a piece of designer series paper. Now this paper is the Traditions of Christmas specialty paper. Amazing, amazing. I love this paper. Now I am using the Festive Friends bundle. And the Festive Friends bundle, to me, doesn't scream poinsettias and gold foil, right? It screams the opposite side. The fun patterns that don't have any gold in them at all. So that's what we're using. So I'm using this plaid piece. And this little piece here, I think, is 2 7/8 by 2 7/8, should be 5 1/4. It's a little longer than 5 1/4, but we can trim off a tiny bit of that. There we go. So now it's 5 1/4. So all of our pieces are 5 1/4 inches long. These two are 3 3/4. This one is 2 7/8. No, that's not right. 3 3/8. Did I even say that right? Yeah, okay, it is 3 3/8. That is the correct size, 3 3/8. Good Lord, I tell you. Measurements are hard sometimes. Then we have another piece for the front. This is a 4 by, I think it's 1.5. Yes, a 1.5 by 4. So this is what we have so far. Okay, so then with the Festive Friends, there are a bunch of little dies here that are so cute. I love them. We've got 2 different trees. So I have the 2 different trees here. I don't know what I'm going to use, but I have 6 trees. I have 4 of the kind of fat, bushy trees, and then 2 of the long, skinny trees. I don't know what I'm going to use. Now, the color on the pack of paper says that this is Old Olive, but Festive Friends just scream Granny Apple Green to me, so we're going Granny Apple Green rather than Old Olive. And it matches just fine. Okay, so then what we need to do is we need to get some scraps of white so we can do a little stamping of our cute little Festive Friends. So I have the snowman and Santa, and I need my memento. And for those of you that might be new to my channel, I have Stampin' Up! Sells a white craft ink pad that comes uninked, and then you get a re-inker, and then you'd fill it up with white craft ink. Well, I decided to do my memento in here. So I bought the white craft ink pad. I don't use the white craft ink because I already have one, but I filled mine up with memento instead. And I see that I have a tiny little, there we go, scrap or something. A tiny little bit of paper that I had to get off there. So that's what this is. This is a memento. Uh-oh. I have to wipe that on my pants. Somehow, because I always do, I always get my finger stuck in there and then I make a mess. So, all right, I think my hands are clean, so that's good news. Okay, so we are going to bring in some blends. We've got some Secret Sea, we've got some Granny Apple Green, and we've got some red. I have a black and a smoky slate and ivory. Ivory and bronze come together. Just in case you were wondering. So this is the ivory, like a skin tone. And then the bronze kind of goes with it. Could be also for a skin tone. But I'm going to use ivory today. So we're going to color these in. I'm going to start with Santa here. And I'm going to use my dark Real Red. And I'm going to do part of his hat. Because, of course, Santa has to have part of his hat needs to be also white. So we're going to do the hat here, and then his jacket is going to be red. And then we'll do his gloves, and his boots will be black. And then his face will be ivory. I didn't get his hand stamped very well there, but I already have him die cut, so I'm not going to worry about that too much. And I chose to use light black rather than the dark, just because, I don't know, just because. Okay. Then we have the ivory for his face. So we'll come in here. Get that done. I guess we could do his ears too, right? And then I have the light smoky slate. And I'm just going to kind of come down around the bottom of his beard here. And then the bottom of his mustache. And then I'm going to kind of come around his hair a little bit also with the gray, just to kind of add a little dimension to him. Okay. And then what? Oh, then we have our snowman. So we'll flip that around and we're going to do our snowman. So I'm going to start with up here. We'll do red. And then this, whoops, I'm trying to look at the one I already die cut so I can see what I have to do here. That little thing is red. Then we have our light Secret Sea, which I'm going to do the little ball here. Oh, I got a little mess there, but that's okay because this isn't the one we're going to use. So I'm not going to worry about it too much. And then his little scarf. So we will color that. And honestly, could these little things be any cuter? I just don't know that they could. Exactly, Kate. I totally get what you're saying. This little snowman is super cute. Although I almost used the elf, and he was so cute too. So it's so hard to do, you know what I mean? So hard to know. Okay, and then I decided to just do his nose red. I don't know why. It's probably an odd thing to do, but I did. Anyway, so here they are, die cut. So I have my little friends here. All right, so I can put my blends away. I don't need them anymore. I'm going to bring in the little tree and the snowflake that's in the stamp set. On the front of the card, as I mentioned, I used this embossing folder. This is a little trio of embossing folders. They're mini embossing folders. They're called the Glass and Gardens, and I think they went with the Cheers and Sips, all the little drinks. But this is the one that I used. Pretty fun there. The pattern is just really interesting. Okay. And then I'm also going to bring in the Sign Design stamp set for my sentiment on the front. And since it's photopolymer, I'm going to bring in my foam matte and my Secret Sea ink. And since it is photopolymer and it is extremely bold, I am going to use my little trick of the piece of tape. Whenever you do a really bold photopolymer stamp, I just like to run my piece of tape over it just to get any bits of dust or anything that might be on it off, so that when I ink it up, hopefully I get a really nice image. Oops, that might be too high. Where is my punch? We may have to do that again. I was not paying attention. And I didn't stamp it in the right spot, and that's not big enough. Hold on, we got plenty of scraps in here. Aha, this one will definitely work. Huff on that again because it was sitting here. Press that down. Much better. And then we have our coordinating punch here, and we can crop this out. Ooh, you know what? I might need to put a cheater stick on here because I don't have enough room on this. Did I get some on there? Yes. If you ever have a piece of paper that's too small, just glue what I call a little cheater stick on there. And then you can hold on to the little cheater stick while you manipulate it around in the punch, and then you can punch it out. And then your little cheater stick can just go in the trash. I have little strips of cardstock that I need. Okay, so there's that. Then, like I said, we do have our little tree. So I need to move some of these things out of the way. I'm afraid I've got too much going on, and if I don't keep track of what's happening here, I'm going to make a mess. So I wanted to stamp some trees on this piece here. So I need a scratch piece of paper because the trees are going to be stamped kind of through the window a little bit. We are using real red and then the little tree image. And so I just kind of wanted to have some trees kind of surrounding the window a little bit. And that. Oh, that's so crooked. You know what? We're going to pretend that it's not because it's a handmade card. So when you give a handmade card, sometimes it's not perfect, right? Okay, then we have our other panel that's on the inside, and this one we're going to stamp some snowflakes on. So I've got my little snowflake stamp. This is also in the Festive Friends. And let's see, I'm going to try to stamp a few images down here in this corner. And then one up the side there a little bit. Then I wanted a couple more sentiments in here. And so I wanted to pull in another set, this is in the mini catalog, I'm pretty sure. It's called Wishing You Joy. And what's interesting about this stamp set is that you have Wishing You Joy in 3 different fonts, which I really like. We also have Sending You Cheer, also in 3 different fonts, Noel, and then May Your Christmas Be Bright, all in different fonts, which I find really interesting. I like that. We had a stamp set that had like thank you and happy birthday in a bunch of different fonts here a while ago. And I really did like that. So I'm going to use a couple of the sentiments out of this. I got to find my other stamp. Where is it? Well, oh, here we go. I was going to say, well, that's going to be a bummer if I can't find it. My cheater stick. Yep. You know, you got to do it sometimes, Wendy. All right. We are going to do this right here. Wishing You Joy. And then we have our Sending You Cheer, which we're going to do in red. So right now I have 3 ink pads open on my desk and I'm starting to get a little bit nervous. But we're going to stop that in just a second. So that's on a scrap. Now we're going to close up all these ink pads because, you know, bad things can happen. This one, we're going to just snip out the words Sending and Cheer. So I'm just going to use my paper snips here. And get our little Sending and Cheer. So this card, not that it's complicated, but there's just a few things to go with it. So I would not make this card for 100 people for Christmas, but I might make it for, you know, like maybe 5. I guess 6. We'd go even just because we are using 2-tone cardstock, so we'd want to use up the full sheets. Okay. So we have Sending Cheer, and then we have our Designer Series paper. So I'm going to go ahead and glue my Designer Series paper in now because I need to decorate on it. So that panel goes right here on the inside. So it does pain me to cover up this beautiful paper, but you know, it's just not the vibe for this card. So we have to cover it up and we have to be okay with it. All right, so we're centering this between the score lines here. There we go. And then we want to add our trees. So our trees, like I said, I think I'm going to go with these fat, bushy trees instead of the other ones. And that's about where I'm going to put them. So I'm going to bring in some liquid glue and just scribble a little bit on here. So we'll put that one there. And this one here. Francie says she calls them mantle cards. Yes, special that they need to be displayed. Exactly. Yes. Not that every card you don't get for Christmas isn't nice, because they all are. But there are some that, you know, if you do handmade cards, you know what I'm saying. There are some that are just really wow, right? So I'm going to put my Sending Cheer right here on the trees. Well, if I could get it picked up. I should use tweezers. I know a lot of people use tweezers, but I never have. And so, you know, old habits die hard. And I'm trying to make it not perfect because I don't want it to be perfect because it's not going to be perfect. That's just how I roll. All right. Then we're going to bring in our little friendly snowman, and he's just going to kind of hang out right here on the edge of the window. Oh, and the window I did with the arch dies. I mean, obviously you probably figured that out, but in case you were wondering where that die came from, it came from the Everyday Arches dies. And so there's a ton of different sizes in here. And I used arch number 5. If you're going from the inside out, I numbered them 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And I did use number 5 to make my window here. Okay, so that's what we have, our friend sitting there. So now I'm going to add, trying to figure out how I got to do this. And, yep. So I have it all laid out flat. So I have, this is my fold line in the back. And then these are in the front so that when I fold the front over, it's even. Okay, so here is our little 1/2 inch fold line here. I'm going to add a little glue onto this. Okay, I'm going to kind of scribble it around. And then I'm going to close my card. Okay. So there we go. Oh, you know what? I'm a liar. That other piece of white, that's the wrong size. I thought that was wrong. That did not make sense to me. These cannot be the same size. No, they can't. Okay, so we're going to go over this again. This is 3 1/2. So this needs to be like 3 1/4 or 3 3/8 wide. Okay, so let's see here. So this is 3. So this is 3 1/2. So we're going to take a little bit off that side. We'll come back. We'll take a little bit off this side. So now that's 3 1/2. Does that fit now? No, I didn't think so. You need to definitely go 3 3/8 or 3 1/4. So we're gonna 3 1/4, 3 3/8. 3 1/4. Okay. So the correct dimension for this panel is 3 1/4 by 5 1/4. Yeah, I should have. When I was telling you guys what the dimensions were in the beginning, I was like, what am I talking about? So I think I'm going to go over this again after I get this glued down so that we are sure that we know what we're doing here. Okay, so again, the front piece, they're all 5 1/4 inches long. That we have established for sure. This is 3 3/4. This is 3 1/4. And I believe this one inside is also 3 1/4. Yes, so two of them are the same, but it's the two inside pieces. 3 1/4, 5 1/4. Outside is 3 3/4 by 5 1/4. Okay, now we have it correct. All right, so we are going to take this layer here and we're going to decorate it. So I'm going to start out with my little 1 1/2 by 4 piece of patterned paper. We're going to put this on the front. And I'm going to put it, I don't know, maybe like 1/2 inch from the edge, from the left edge. Okay. And then we have our little sentiment piece, which I'm going to add with a couple dimensionals. Press my fingernail into that and get those bits off. And this is going to go up here about like so. Something like that. Santa is going to come in and be so cute. And then he's going to have some trees around him. I think I might go with one of these skinny trees and then maybe one of these kind of bushier, fatter trees. Something like that. Yes. So let's add a little glue to this little bushy tree here. Come on, glue. Good Lord. It's, oh, you know what? It might be clogged. Oh, no. Holy cow. That was probably more glue than we needed, right? Because now it's coming through. Okay, so we have a little tree here that we want to be straight, Barb. I mean, I realize not all trees in the forest are straight, but, you know, we don't want them to be purposely not straight. Yeah, I still have some glue on my hand here, or my finger, so maybe we can just add it to this little tree. So we're going to put Santa down, and then we're going to put this tall tree about like so. Again, try to make it straight. Now I got to get this glue off my finger. And then Santa needs some dimensionals, of course. Okay. Such a cute little card. Oh, he's just so sweet. All right, so something like that. And then this can go on the front. Oh, I may have to find a new bottle of glue because this one is not making me very happy right now. Okay, this one I can see that it's not clogged. Okay, and then we're going to stick this on the front. Press it down. Okay, and then we need some sparkles. Oh no, let's use these. These are cute. I just pulled these out. I wasn't going to use them, but I think they're going to work really good. We're going to use these little red ones. These are called the Delightful Decorative Dots. So delightful. There's 3 different sizes. Oh, there we go. They have a tiny bit of shimmer in them, which I find pretty fun. And I'm going to add them up here, I think. I need a big one. There we go. Okay. Yay. So cute. So this is 4 by 5.5 card. And then when you open it up, you have this cute little box inside with the window. And oh, he's just so cute. He probably should have an orange nose. But you know, it's my card. I can have him have whatever color nose I want. And I decided to go with red. And I've got ink all over my ink pad again. Good grief. I tell you, I am the messiest. I am literally the messiest stamper. I mean, I don't like a mess when I'm stamping, but I get ink all over myself constantly. It's terrible. Okay. Let me put these things back in the bucket, and then we will move on to our next card. I think I'm going to take all these stamps. I'm just going to put them behind me because there's quite a few, and I don't want to wash them all yet. We'll wash them after we are done. We don't have time for that kind of cleanup. All right, so we're going to put all this over here because we probably need it. Our little trees we're going to use on something else. Okay, now we need our trimmer back in here. And our next bucket. So for our next card, I just can't stop using this Gathering Moments. I just love this so much, and I really love the paper that goes with it. So that is, of course, the beautiful Gathering Together paper. And I think I've mentioned this before, but maybe some of you weren't here. What's very interesting about these leaf papers, if I can find them. Nope. Here we go. We've got this one. Do I not have the third one? I must not have the third one. I must have used it all up. But there are 3 leaf papers in this set. You may notice they are all identical except for the colors. Let me see. Where does that go? Where's my corner here? Is it right here? Yep. Okay, look. Because we're starting up here in the corner. We have a green leaf. This one has a Cajun Craze leaf. This one has Cajun Craze brown. This one is yellow. This one is brown. But if you notice on your papers, they are identical. They just have different colors, which I thought was the coolest thing ever that Stampin' Up! Did. So I just thought that was kind of cool, and maybe you didn't notice. Maybe you didn't care. I don't know. Kate bought 2 packs of the paper. I don't blame you. This stuff is amazing. It's just beautiful, and I love making fall cards. And these are like the perfect colors too. So I'm not mad. I'm not mad about having the papers be the same because people probably didn't even realize that they were. Okay, where's my packet of papers? Here we go. This is a pretty simple card. It's a fun fold, but it is pretty simple. So I wanted to throw out some of these things here. Okay, so what we have is I have a piece of early espresso, and it is 4 1/4 by 11. Okay. I scored it at 5.5, and then I folded it closed. Easy enough. Standard card size. Everybody does it. Then what I did was I brought my card up. I put my short side at the top of my trimmer, and I scooched it over to 1 1/4 inches. And then I cut down to my score line. Now, what I did to cut is I just had my blade. I was just watching it come down until the little side marks on the blade were right at my score line, and then I knew I was done. So then I have this, which is just a really easy fun fold. Okay, so we have that. Pretty simple. This piece we're going to glue down. So I'm just going to add some glue to it. And I just saw a comment. Linda said, Stampin' Up! Always does an amazing job with DSP. They do. They have some of the most amazing DSP. I am never disappointed. I mean, there's some that I don't always like as well as others, but they do a fantastic job with all of them. Okay, so we have that. I need to scooch it over. Okay. Well, I didn't get it perfect, but you know what? Again, it's a handmade card, right? Okay, so then for this little strip here, this is 1 1/4 by 5 1/2. So I have a piece of Cajun Craze that I just cut to 1 by 5 1/4. And then I ran it through the coordinating folder, the Gathering Leaves folder. Another one of my favorite pieces or favorite things to use is this folder. And actually, I think I lied about the dimension. I think it's 1 1/4 by 5 3/8. If we're Yes, you could do 5 1/4, but this one happens to be 5 3/8. Okay. Then I have a piece of Designer Series paper, and this is also 5 3/8, and it is 2 7/8. 2 7/8, 5 3/8. You know, the front of the paper is so amazing, but this birch pattern on the back is really pretty too. Okay, so we're going to add this to the front. I'm going to see if I can scoot that up just a hair. I feel like I did not fold this very good because I have excess at the bottom, which is what it is. Okay, then I haven't used this yet. This is our, what's it called? Earthen toned metallic specialty paper. I call it early espresso glossy paper. Early espresso metallic paper, because it does look good. You get 2 12 by 12 sheets. I think it's early espresso. They're calling it earthen toned. It's early espresso. So anyways, I went ahead and took one of the large leaf dies. Now I haven't really used these large leaf dies yet. I've been using the smaller ones with all the cards I've been making. So this one I decided to pull out, and I think this might be an oak leaf, if I'm correct. And I ran it through with the pieces together. So when I do these things, I put these on my piece of paper, and then I pull out some Post-it note tape and I tape it together. So I get it lined up nicely here. And then I take my Post-it tape and I stick it down so that it stays when I'm pushing it through my machine. And then this is what you get. You get all these little holes and then the die cut leaf. So there is the oak leaf and the maple leaf. And so what else you can do with this is, here is just a plain maple leaf. Here is a plain maple leaf embossed with that, what's it called again? Gathering Leaves folder. Great. And then here is another leaf when I did the holes, but then I actually, you can do some stitching. Stampin' Up! Did put this thread into the collection. And so if you wanted to do some stitching on this leaf, you could, you know, go do a back stitch through the whole thing. But I mean, that could take a little bit of time. I didn't want to take that much time. So I just used my Cajun Craze marker, and then I just connected all the line dots together. Now, shameless plug. Our markers are going away. You probably are aware of that because Stampin' Up! Is getting rid of their cling mount rubber stamps because rubber is becoming expensive and hard to find. And so Stampin' Up! Has decided to stop using it altogether before they were forced to. So going forward, starting in November, when the online exclusives come out, all stamp sets will be photopolymer from now on. So because of that, we have Stampin' Blends, which we use for coloring. I don't think most people use our Stampin' Write markers for coloring, but Stampin' Write markers are cool for other things, like this, for instance, because the tip is really nice to do this nice stitching. They're all on sale now. All of our markers packages are on sale. So the Regals collection is $28. The Brights is $24.50. The Neutrals are $24.50. The Subtles are $24.50. These marker sets used to be $35, you guys. So this is a pretty good discount. Then we have the 2 in color collections. One of them is $14, one of them is $10.50. And they were $17.50, I believe. So if you are a Stampin' Write marker fan, now is a really good time to pick these up because they're on sale. Anyway, So we have our 3 different leaves. This is the one we're using today because I couldn't write on it. I guess I could have maybe used a Stampin' Blend. I didn't think about it, but I'm not going to do that. Then I have some basic beige paper. I have Cajun Craze ink. I have the large flower. Good Lord, what are you talking about, Barb? Large leaf. We're doing that one in the Cajun. And then we have this other little leaf. I don't know if it's a real leaf or not. It's cute. That's all I know. This little guy here in the crushed curry. And then we also have a little mushroom that we need for this card. And we're going to do half early espresso and half Cajun Craze. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to try to wing it. I'm just going to take the mushroom, looking through my clear block onto the edge of my stamp pad. And I'm just going to try and get that little end early espresso. I'm pretty good there. And now I'm going to come over and do the mushroom cap in Cajun Craze. So I'm just guessing where it is here. I think that'll work. And it did. So now I have a 2-tone mushroom. So then I would die cut all of those out. Oops, I already glued my mushroom down. Where's my inside piece of paper? Oh, for crying out. Oh, it's right here. So I'm actually not going to die cut those out of this piece because this is my inside layer. I was thinking to myself, I need to get a scrap of beige. But then I saw this and I thought, oh, there's a scrap of beige. No, Barb, that's not a scrap. That's your inside piece. Good thing we didn't die cut them because then we would have to start over. So here's the mushroom right here at the bottom of my inside layer, which you can see I did put a little bit of that shiny foil in there and a little piece of the designer series paper. So we're going to open that up and we're going to stick that on the inside. So pretend I did not stamp, thinking it was a scrap, because it's not. Okay, there we go. And then we have this that's going to go on the outside. These 2 leaves are also going to go on the outside, kind of like so. And then we have our sentiment. I need a lot of thank you cards. I send out a lot of thank you cards, and so I need lots of thank you cards. So we're going to do a thank you card. And thankfully, there is a many thanks greeting in this set, and so we're just going to use it. So I'm going to ink it up, and this is early espresso. I'm going to try to center it. We're going to see how this works. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. That actually worked out pretty good. And then this is going to go onto the card, but not before we put something underneath it, which is a little bow tied out of the early espresso thread. And so I need to make a fairly big bow. So we'll do that. I don't want it to be too big. It's just going to kind of go behind my thing here. So that actually looks pretty good. So we're going to snip off the end. And okay, so first of all, I'm going to add this leaf, and I'm going to do it with dimensionals. So, oh, here's some. I was like, I know I have a pack that's already opened. So, but it's going to kind of hang over the piece that opens. So I just need to be mindful and not put any dimensionals or any glue, you know, any of the places where it's going to hang over. So we'll do that. I think I'll use some minis also, because then I can get a little closer to that space there. And maybe we'll do another one right there. Is that going to work? I feel like I can add another one here. I'm just trying to gauge where they're going to go, because I want to make sure I have enough, but I don't want to have any over the holes, because I don't want the white of the dimensional to show through the holes. And then, of course, I don't want the dimensional to be seen from the back side when you open up the card. So, these tiny ones are a little bit of a bugger sometimes. Okay. Get that backing out of there. Oh my goodness, get off that. Okay. So we should be able to do that. please, 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 yes. And then we can add this leaf. I'm going to put it right here in this little guy. I'm going to put right there. And then my mini thanks is going to go about like so, but I do need to add, maybe I'll do some tear and tape on the back. Ooh, just dropped my Versamark pad in my Cajun Craze. Probably not the greatest thing. Okay. So then we can add our bow like that. And then we can bring in some dimensionals. So the bow was just a way to tie it easily for me. And I think we're going to go like that. And then I'm going to snip off the excess here. Struggling a bit. Why can't I get my scissors in the right position? There. And then finally, we have some Cajun Craze dots that we're going to add here. So I think we'll go one there and one there. And then one, oops, why can't, I need to get putty out of this. I think I'm going to put it down here. Okay. And there it is. Beautiful. I love that foil. I hadn't even used it yet. It's so amazing. And then we have the inside and the outside. And okay. So that's what I have for you guys today. I'm going to try to move some of this stuff out of the way so I can bring my other card back in so I won't get ink on it. So here we have, there are 2 fun folds today. Pretty simple. This one especially is very simple. Love that. And then we have this one, our little box card. And I haven't even been watching the comments. Oh my gosh, you guys. Has anybody asked me any questions? I'm so sorry. Let me scoot back here and see. Okay, I don't think that I see any comments. Shirley says she always has ink on herself. Ugh, same, Shirley. It's a problem. Okay, I think we're good. I don't think there's any questions. So thank you guys for watching. I appreciate it so much. And I will see you back here next week. Don't forget all the things that are going on, especially that kit sale, because by the time I come back next week, the kit sale is over. Don't forget that if you haven't signed up for my newsletter yet, to do that with the link in the description, because my first 12 weeks of Christmas is going out tomorrow. And yeah, I think that's it. So I hope you guys have a great week, and I'll see you guys again soon. Bye-bye.